Did you know that Six Flags Great Adventure is the largest theme park in the world? What's even crazier is that 10 out of the 15 roller coasters at the park stand over 100 feet tall, including the one everyone knows about, Kingda Ka, which is currently the world's tallest roller coaster until Falcon's Flight opens at Six Flags Kica sometime in 2025. So here is how every roller coaster over 100 feet tall compares to the others at Great Adventure. Then stay tuned for my bold new coaster prediction for Six Flags Great Adventure coming up later in the video. Coming in as the 10th tallest coaster at this New Jersey theme park is number 10, Batman the Ride, featuring a lift hill height of 105 feet. Opening in 1993, this 5-inversion B&M inverted coaster has been thrilling riders ever since. While Batman the Ride isn't the largest, fastest, or the tallest ride at Great Adventure, it is one of the most intense. Your ride starts off with a great twisted first drop that takes you into the first vertical loop, followed by a very quick 0G roll, then into the ride's second vertical loop. This opening segment for Batman the Ride is one of the best that you're going to find in the entire park. The rest of the ride offers quick swooping low to the ground turns and 2 corkscrews. Number 9 is Superman Ultimate Flight, standing at a height of 106 feet. Opening 10 years after Batman, Six Flags Great Adventure went back with B&M to build them their flying coaster. Superman will flip you upside down 2 different times as you twist and maneuver your way through the 2,759 feet of track. The most unique thing about Superman has to be your riding position, since you're laying down throughout the entire ride, so it feels like you're flying. Now it's time for the first of many TPR tips throughout this video. Every coaster fan really does need to experience the main highlight of Superman, and that of course is the pretzel loop. This element is super intense and really is the highlight of Superman's ultimate flight. Number 8. The Joker, standing at a height of 120 feet. Remember when Six Flags added what seemed like these SNS free spins to every single park? While the Joker is not a bad coaster at all, I understand why it's not overly popular. And since the ride vehicles freely spin, your ride experience will always be different. But on the positive side of that, if you get a ride on the Joker with your ride vehicle being off-balanced weight-wise, then your car will flip freely more throughout the entire ride. Number 7. The Jersey Devil Coaster, which offers a lift hill height of 130 feet. Now sadly, I only have 3 rides on the park's RMC single rail coaster, and it's a top 4 for me at Six Flags Great Adventure. That is because the Jersey Devil is awesome. Featuring 3 inversions, fantastic airtime, and some quick transitions, it's hard not to love this coaster. But for me, it's all about the trains. Something about not having any riders next to you really is just wowed. And even though the Jersey Devil is only 130 feet tall, the ride just feels much larger than that. TPR tip: if you can, I recommend trying to ride in the very back row of the train for the best ride experience. Number 6. Medusa. Standing at a height of 142 feet, this awesome B&M floorless coaster opened up in 1999. This 7-inversion coaster is located in the very back corner of Great Adventure, so it's easy to miss. And while you're riding the ride, you really can't compare how high you are up because there's no other coasters really around you. So just like the Jersey Devil, you do feel taller than you actually are. Throughout the 3,985 feet of twisted track, you're going to experience a great first drop, an amazing vertical loop, followed by a diving loop, 0G roll, then an awesome Cobra roll. Medusa is still one of the best coasters at Six Flags Great Adventure, and in my opinion it's very underrated. However, we cannot say the same for this next one. Number 5. The Green Lantern, with a lift hill height of 154 feet. Now if you ever want a headache, then I recommend riding Six Flags Great Adventure's stand-up coaster. While it's only been in operation at Great Adventure since 2011, the Green Lantern was relocated to the New Jersey theme park from Six Flags Kentucky Kingdom in 2011, where it operated as Chang since 1997. This B&M stand-up coaster features 5 inversions, a massive lift hill, and a great first drop. And again, plenty of headaches along the way. Though I will say, there is something about the view that you do get of Great Adventure when you go down that first drop. I recommend only riding this coaster if you really want to, and I also recommend trying to ride closer to the front of the train for the smoothest possible ride experience. Number 4, Flash Vertical Velocity, standing at a height of 164 feet. While this awesome new coaster was supposed to open up in 2024, sadly, Great Adventure's new Super Boomerang will be opening in 2025. That is the bad news. Meanwhile, the good news is Flash Vertical Velocity is going to be awesome when it does open. Believe it or not, but this layout features 3 launches, 2 vertical spikes, 2 inversions, airtime, and a rollback. I also really love how the placement of this coaster just dominates the front entrance area of Great Adventure, and going up that 164 foot tall spike is going to be awesome. TPR tip: the only issue I have with Flash Vertical Velocity would have to be its capacity. It's going to be bad. The coaster only offers 1 train, so I recommend when you visit Great Adventure, plan to get there before the park opens so you can make your way to Flash and be one of the first people in line for the day. Number 3, El Toro, featuring a lift hill height of 181 feet. Not only is El Toro one of the best roller coasters that you're ever going to ride, it's also one of the world's tallest and most intense wooden coasters. I promise you one thing, you have never experienced airtime before like you will when you ride El Toro. This wooden coaster looms above the area of Great Adventure, and that drop, especially in the back row, makes anyone feel a bit uneasy. That's because this drop is extremely large and it's crazy steep. El Toro features one heck of a ride from start to finish, and it's my personal favorite coaster that you can find at Great Adventure. TPR tip: for the best ride experience, you're going to want to ride in the very last car, preferably the middle row of that car. Getting pulled down that 176 foot tall drop really is something, and every one of you need to experience it. Trust me on this. El Toro is great, but the back row is where it's at. Number 2, Nitro, featuring a lift hill height of 230 feet tall. You're looking at the tallest roller coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure that features a lift hill. This means that you'll have around 60 seconds or so as the train slowly ascends the lift hill to take in the views of the beautiful forest all around you. Nitro really is gigantic and features a layout full of massive hills and turns that are just awesome. Now, if you love floating airtime, then Nitro might just be your favorite coaster at Great Adventure. Also, did you know that Nitro is the longest coaster that you can find at the park? With that being said, Nitro stands at a height of 230 feet tall. Now here's something crazy. Kingda Ka is 226 feet taller than the top of Nitro's lift hill. Now real quick, if you're enjoying this video, then all I ask you to do is please give it a like. That is by far the best way that you can help support my channel, and I greatly do appreciate each one. Number 1, Kingda Ka, standing at a crazy height of 456 feet tall. Since opening in 2005, this intimate hydraulic launch coaster has held the record for the tallest roller coaster in the entire world. When you look at this coaster from the parking lot, honestly it feels like it's 856 feet tall. Your Kingda Ka experience starts with you looking down the launch track, waiting, and waiting, until the train rolls back slowly right before your launch 0 to 128 miles an hour in only 3.5 seconds. That is just insane. Once you reach the end of the launch track, you then skyrocket towards the sky and travel over the 456 foot tall top hat, giving you quick but amazing views of the surrounding area. On your way back down, you will then travel through a 270-degree spiral before the train ascends up the 129-foot tall airtime hill into the final brake run. To give you a sheer size of just how tall Kingda Ka really is, if you get a night ride on it, when you go over the top hat, you can look out and see the lights from Atlantic City, Philadelphia, and New York City off in the distance. This brings me to my final TPR tip of the video, and that is I recommend riding Kingda Ka during the daytime at first so you can see how high you really are. Then, a night ride to end your day at the park is always the best way to go. And now for my coaster prediction for Six Flags Great Adventure. Now that Cedar Fair and Six Flags have merged, and with all the Giga Coaster rumors out there about Great Adventure the last few years, I predict that we will see a Giga Coaster open up at Six Flags Great Adventure over the next 5 years. I really feel like this is the type of coaster that would bring in huge crowds for the park and get Great Adventure up there with the other larger parks in the all-new Six Flags chain. Now, speaking of other parks out there, did you know that some of your favorite theme parks might be haunted? Now, if you're not too scared, then I recommend checking out the showcase video at the bottom of your screen where I share with you some chilling real-life theme park ghost stories. So what are your coaster predictions for Six Flags Great Adventure, and what is your favorite coaster at the park? You know what to do, please let me know in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to smile today, think positive, and keep riding coasters.